Welcome to the Fathering Strong Deep Dive Discussions, where we take the latest topics posted on our blog site and with a little AI magic, thanks to Google's new Notebook LM podcast generator, provide you with an informative and interactive discussion. This week's Fathering Strong blog post, written by Urban Light Ministries president and co-founder Eli Williams, is the content source for this AI-generated conversation. Sit back and enjoy Meredith and Dylan as they deep dive and unpack today's topic.
Okay, so you know how it is, right? Like Christmas is supposed to be magical, especially for the kids.
Yeah.
But it's so easy to get caught up in all the craziness. You want to make everything perfect.
Totally.
So I thought this would be a great time for a deep dive into this guide I found. It's by Pastor Eli Williams.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about managing holiday stress
Yeah.
for parents. And I think it's got some really great stuff, especially for us dads.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're not just going for stress-free here.
Right.
We're talking about like a truly meaningful Christmas.
Exactly. That's the goal. And Pastor Williams is like spot on with some of this stuff.
Totally.
He starts by laying out all those classic holiday stressors we all deal with. It's like he's been peeking into our lives.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like the pressure of finding that perfect gift for each kid.
Yeah, for sure.
Trying to make sure everyone's expectations are met and just trying to keep everything from falling apart.
You just described my life the past, like 3 Christmases.
Right. And he really nails it when he talks about, you know, how much of this stress actually comes from society.
Mm-hmm.
And all those messages we get bombarded with about the perfect Christmas.
That perfect, yeah, like magazine Christmas, right?
Yeah. And like he says, when our reality doesn't measure up,
Oh, absolutely.
that's when the stress kicks in.
Yeah, because you're always like, oh, man, am I doing enough?
Exactly.
Like, am I keeping up with the Joneses and all that jazz?
Yeah, and then you feel inadequate, like you're failing or something.
Right, exactly. And who needs that, right?
No one needs that during the holidays.
Right.
So how do we ditch that pressure?
For real.
This is where Pastor Williams gets really interesting. You ready for this? He says, we need to stick to our normal routines.
Oh, really? Even with all the holiday stuff going on.
Yep. He's all about keeping those bedtimes and mealtimes consistent.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Right. Especially for the kids.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. All this holiday stuff is exciting for them.
It's a lot for them, right?
Yeah. But it's also a lot of change.
Yeah.
And that can be overwhelming, even if it's fun.
Yeah, it's like sensory overload almost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So having those familiar routines gives them a sense of stability.
That's like an anchor point for them.
Exactly. It keeps them grounded.
And less likely to melt down.
Bonus. So less stress for them, which means
Less stress for us.
you got it.
I like where this is going.
All right, let's talk about gifts.
Oh, boy, the big one, right?
It is. But Pastor Williams doesn't shy away from it.
I respect that.
He shares this really great story about how his own family decided to simplify things.
Okay, tell me more.
Yeah. So they decided on one special gift for each kid, and then they really focused on experiences together as a family.
Oh, I love that, man.
It's really cool, right? It just shifts the whole focus.
Because I gotta say, thinking back on my own childhood Christmases, I barely remember what I got.
Right.
But man, those memories of decorating the tree with my family
Yeah.
or driving around to see the lights, those are the things that stick with me.
Absolutely. And those are the things that actually make those memories special.
100%. And those are the things that really build those strong family bonds, you know?
Exactly. So how do we do that? Pastor Williams has some great suggestions. It starts with brainstorming.
Okay, I love brainstorming.
Right. So get the family together and come up with a list of activities everyone will enjoy.
Okay.
Like maybe baking cookies, volunteering, or even starting a new tradition, you know, something that's unique to your family.
That is really cool. Like you're building memories, right?
Exactly. It doesn't have to be extravagant.
No, totally.
It's about being present, having fun, and just enjoying each other's company.
That's the spirit.
Yeah, and those simple moments are so much more valuable than any toy.
And honestly, they're the perfect opportunity to teach kids about gratitude and generosity.
Totally. Okay, so next up, managing expectations.
Ooh, that's a big one, man.
It is, and Pastor Williams gets real about it.
Like,
Who says, straight up, unrealistic expectations are just setting ourselves up for disappointment. And that goes for everyone involved, our kids, spouses, and even us dads.
oh yeah, we're guilty of that too.
Definitely.
Yeah.
He suggests having honest conversations with the kids about gifts,
Okay, good idea.
letting them know that Christmas isn't about the price tag.
It's about being together, right?
As I say, it's about celebrating as a family.
Love it. And this is where we dads, we got to step up and lead by example, you know?
Totally.
Show them what it means to be grateful for what we have and focus on the things that truly matter.
Absolutely. Shift that focus from getting to giving.
From consuming to connecting.
Perfectly said.
So, like, what about self-care?
Oh, I was just about to get to that. Pastor Williams talks about how important it is for us dads to take care of ourselves.
Good, because dads always put themselves last, right?
It's true, but we shouldn't. Especially during the holidays.
Yeah, it's easy to get so caught up in everything.
Totally.
Making sure everyone else is happy.
Yeah, and then we forget about ourselves.
And that's a recipe for burnout, man.
It is. And Pastor Williams is clear. Self-care isn't selfish.
Not at all.
It's essential.
It's like putting on your own oxygen mask first, right?
Exactly. And it's important for the whole family because when we're feeling good, we're better dads, we're more present, we're more patient.
We can handle those holiday meltdowns with a little more grace.
Right. So take a few minutes each day to do something you enjoy.
Yeah.
Ask for help when you need it.
Yes.
And don't be afraid to say no to extra commitments if you're feeling overwhelmed.
Seriously, it's okay to set boundaries.
It is. And speaking of what's truly important, we can't forget the reason for the season.
The real meaning of Christmas.
Exactly. Pastor Williams reminds us that amongst all the hustle and bustle, it's crucial to remember why we're actually celebrating.
To connect with that spiritual side of the holiday.
Absolutely. And there's so many ways to do that.
Like how?
Well, he suggests reading the Christmas story together as a family.
That's a beautiful tradition.
It is. Attending religious services, or even just taking some quiet time for yourself to reflect on what Christmas really means to you.
I love that.
Yeah, it helps ground us and bring back that sense of peace and joy.
And counter all that commercialization, you know?
For sure, it helps us refocus on the things that truly matter. Love, compassion, generosity.
The heart of Christmas.
Yeah. So dads, listen up. A stress-free and meaningful Christmas is totally possible.
Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
We just have to be intentional about it.
So true.
We have to prioritize those routines, focus on experiences instead of gifts,
Yes.
manage our expectations, take care of ourselves, and most importantly, remember the reason we're celebrating.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
By doing those things, we can create a Christmas that truly nourishes our families and brings us closer to what matters most.
And, as we head into the holiday season this year, why not choose one or two new traditions from what we talked about today?
Yeah.
Try them out with your family. I think you'll be amazed by the impact it has.
I think so too.
It might just be the start of your most memorable Christmas yet.
The best kind of memories.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, that about wraps it up for this deep dive. Thanks for joining me.
Absolutely. Happy holidays, everyone.
And all you dads out there, remember, you got this. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks for listening to the Deep Dive discussion brought to you by Fathering Strong and Google's Notebook LM AI Podcast Generator. The content for this AI-generated conversation is this week's Fathering Strong blog post written by Urban Light Ministries President and co-founder Eli Williams. For more information on this and other important topics and a wealth of free father-focused resources, please visit www.urbanlight.org.